everybody, welcome back to Becoming a Therapist. If you've watched episodes 1 and 2 of this series, thank you for holding on with me. I found a new set of flashcards on Quizlet that I think is going to be a lot better, so let's get to studying. A group counselor uses techniques based on implosive therapy in her work. Which theorist is responsible for implosive therapy? A. Albert Ellis, B. Aaron Beck, C. Janov, and D. Stamfel. Honestly, I haven't heard of the last two, so let's see. D. Stamfel. Abreaction form of therapy often used with highly phobic clients. Clients are induced to read or hear about or imagine frightening depictions of what might happen if they are forced to face their fear. The idea is that the person will become desensitized. A group counselor decides to make graphs of all the psychological test data for all of her clients over the past year. When she plots the distribution of Beck depression inventory data, she notices it is skewed to the left. Which of the following statements is true if a distribution is skewed to the left? A. The mean is greater than the median. B. The mean is less than the median. C. The mean and median are the same. And D. The mode is the best measure of center. I feel like the first step would be to eliminate C and D. So which one's which? B. The mean is less than the median. It means that although most of the scores are to the right of the distribution, there are a few low scores that are pulling the distribution to the left. The mean is the most impacted by the extreme scores. Because the extreme scores in this distribution are low, the value of the mean will be made less than the value of the median. Susie is playing with blocks and trying to build a tower. She tries but cannot build a tower. Susie's mother helps her build a 4-block tower. Later, Susie builds a 4-block tower without her mother's help. According to Vygotsky, the inability to build the tower on her own is known as A. Scaffolding, B. The zone of proximal development, C. Assisted discovery, or D. Learning by imitation. B. Scaffolding is a term used by Vygotsky that explains what Susie's mother is doing. She's adjusting her level of support to Susie based on Susie's level of performance. The zone of proximal development involves a range of tasks that are too difficult for the child to do alone, but possible to do with the help of adults or other more skilled children. Assisted discovery is another term used by Vygotsky to describe learning situations that a teacher sets up within a classroom so that students are guided into discovering learning. Learning by imitation is a type of learning that involves a child watching someone perform a task and later performing the task by herself. According to Erickson, when an individual fails to develop a strong sense of identity, the individual will have troubles with the development of A. Autonomy, B. Initiative, C. Intimacy, or D. Integrity. The answer is C. Intimacy. In Erickson's theory of psychosocial development, individuals who fail to achieve the goal of the lower level of development will have problems attaining the developmental task at the next stage of development. In the example above, the individual failed to achieve identity, which occurs during adolescence. Therefore, in young adulthood, the individual will have problems attaining intimacy, which is the developmental task to be achieved at this level. For autonomy, the individual would have failed to attain basic trust. For initiative, the individual would have had to have failed to attain autonomy. And for integrity, the individual would have had to have failed to attain generativity. Which of the following is the correct sequence of stages in Freud's theory of personality development? A. Oral, genital, latency, anal, phallic. B. Genital, anal, phallic, oral, latency. C. Latency, phallic, oral, anal, genital. Or D. Oral, anal, phallic, latency, genital. And the answer is D. The best way to remember Freud's psychosexual stages of development is to think about what key tasks individuals do throughout childhood. The first thing infants do is suck, oral. Next, babies begin to toilet train, anal, then discover the difference between boys and girls, which is phallic. Next, children spend time growing physically and cognitively, but are latent in the psychosexual realm, so they're not focusing on anything sexual. Finally, puberty sets in, and they begin to think about sex again, and they're focused on their own genitals. Jacob's father tells Jacob to clean his room. When Jacob asks why, his father responds, "Because I said so." The father's response is most representative of which parenting style? A, uninvolved. B, authoritarian. C, authoritative. Or D, permissive. And the answer is B. The authoritarian parenting style uses coercive techniques and psychological control to discipline children, whereas the authoritative parenting style emphasizes some control but allows for some independence. Authoritative is the best one. The uninvolved parenting style rarely uses any control, and the parent seems to be indifferent to the child's level of independence. In the permissive parenting style, the parents are typically overindulgent with the children. They exert very little control and are lenient when it comes to granting independence to the child. Harry Harlow used baby monkeys and several different kinds of surrogate mothers to investigate which factors are important in early development and attachment. According to his findings, baby monkeys, A, preferred a soft terry cloth mother to a wire mesh mother that held a bottle. B, preferred a wire mesh mother that held a bottle to a soft terry cloth mother. C, showed no preference. D, preferred neither mother. And the answer is A. In Harry Harlow's experiments, he found that baby monkeys preferred physical comfort to hunger satisfaction. In other words, the baby monkeys wanted to be close to a soft terry cloth mother rather than a wire mesh mother, even though the latter presented food. Therefore, attachment involves more than hunger satisfaction. It involves having close contact with a loving caregiver. Which of the following is a myth about suicide in the United States? A, male suicide is 4 times higher than among females. B, it occurs in age groups of 90 years and up. C, psychiatrists, physicians, and dentists are more prone. D, asking someone about suicide may push that person over the edge. And the answer is D. If someone is thinking about suicide, asking that person about suicide will not plant the seed or push her into committing suicide. It is important that as a counselor, you ask clients about suicide so that they can get the help they need. It is necessary to assess suicidality whenever you suspect that someone is contemplating it or behaving in ways that may suggest that they are contemplating it. It is best practice to assess for suicidality at each session with your clients. Suicide knows no age boundaries. Females attempt suicide at a rate 3 times higher than males, but males are successful more often, usually because they use more lethal methods than females. Cody does what his parents say because he doesn't want to lose his television privileges. This is an example of what level in Kohlberg's theory of moral development. A, integrity versus despair. B, pre-conventional. C, conventional. Or D, post-conventional. And the answer is B. Integrity versus despair is one of the stages in Erikson's psychosocial developmental theory, so that doesn't apply here. Kohlberg postulated that in the first level, pre-conventional, individuals are concerned with consequences imposed on them for wrongdoing. Thus, in the example, Cody wanted to avoid being punished by having his television privileges taken away. At the conventional level, an individual wants to conform to societal rules so that authority, rules, and order is maintained. At the post-conventional level, individuals define morality in terms of universal values and altruism. All right, everybody, that's the last one for today. Consider subscribing to my channel and let me know in the comments how you did.